Well, this week on the channel, as usual, there's a ton of information going on out there about the Appalachian Trail through hikers. Lots of news. It amazes me every week how much news crops up over the time period from one of my videos to the next. So we got a lot of that to bring to you. I got something special, if I can remember to tell you about it, that's coming up at the very end of this video, so stay tuned to that. Let's go ahead and dive right into what's going on. So we got Stretch. Now Stretch was from last year. He was a through hiker from last year, but he ran into Slide, who started his no-bow January 1, and he ran into him at Bear Mountain. He's no-bow pure all the way, and obviously what's going to happen to him is he's probably going to get to Katahdin before it even opens up, because Katahdin doesn't open till much later. I think it is in, I want to say May is when it opens up. I need to go back and check that, but I'll leave that down below if I'm wrong about that. But usually sometime around May, I believe, is when it opens up. So he's going to get up there before Katahdin opens up, and what's he going to do? Well, not sure. I think since he is putting on so many miles so fast, he is probably doing a calendar year Triple Crown. So calendar year Triple Crown, of course, means he's going to do all of the Triple Crown trails, the Appalachian Trail, the CDT, the Continental Divide Trail, and the PCT, the Pacific Continental Trail. He's going to do all those in one calendar year. So he is making hay while the sun shines, and he is wide open up through there. Alpha Gal has made it to mile 300 and sends in his update.
Hey, Ramdino, coming to you from mile 300. Trail conditions are awesome. Not very many blowdowns, and the weather's beautiful up here. Blue skies, great views.
And he also sent word since that update that he has actually exited the Smokies. So congratulations to him on getting through the Smokies. Metro checked in from the same mile marker as him. And so apparently they're hiking together, and you'll see Alpha Gal in his video, and he sends in his video.
Hey Ramdino, it's Metro on the move, coming to you from mile marker 300. I know I've been in the shadows for a little bit, but I wanted to share this view with everyone that's been watching your channel, and hopefully they'll come over to Metro on the Move on YouTube and follow me as well. Guys, it's been great out here. We've had some perfect views. Also, make sure you check out Alpha Gal. We're making our way northbound. Ramdino, I appreciate you. Let's keep moving.
So yep, looks like they had a bluebird day there in the Smokies, so that is awesome. Ty-Jai, he checks in after the ferry there at the Nolichucky.
Greetings, Ramdino and all your viewers. My trail name is Tie-Dye. It is day 34 for me, and I am in Erwin, Tennessee. I just crossed the Nolichucky River on the raft. I tell you what, it was so nice to be able to cross on a raft and avoid that 3.5 mile road walk. It's a piece of cake. I'm on the other side of Nolichucky and continue heading north. Take care. Bye.
So, of course, the ferry this year is new because of the devastation and the Chestoa Bridge that got wiped out there right there at Uncle Johnny's Hostel there in Erwin. And so you'll recall I kept talking about they need to put a ferry, for months. Well, finally, instead of doing this gosh awful walk around that was very dangerous, that was the official way, now they've made the ferry the official way. Or for whatever reason, if the ferry's not operating, which it's free and it operates most of the day, doesn't operate at night, but if you get to town, you can do that walk around. Don't recommend it. Very dangerous. A lot of truck traffic, low shoulders there. So glad the ATC finally decided to do something that was safer for the hikers. And then Marcus from Ireland, he got his trail name of Blue Jeans, and he has crossed into North Carolina. So congratulations to him to having 1 mile back. I mean, 1 state down. He's also made it past the 100-mile mark there at Trey Mountain, and he is into Franklin. Says he has had the time of his life on the trail, meeting all kind of awesome people. He sends in a video.
Hey there, Ramdino. This is Marcus, aka Blue Jeans. I just wanted to give you a little trail update here now, a little bit over a week, and a resupply stop in Hiawassee. I finally reached my first milestone, the border from North Carolina to Georgia, or Georgia, North Carolina. This also marks now the longest hike I've ever done in my life, and I had a super nice week so far. Georgia, the people, the nature, everything was nice. So I hope you're all safe out there. I hope you enjoy the trail as much as me. And thanks for all your work. And just like that, I'm exiting my first state.
And then Moose Liver, who is on try number 6 times the charm for her trying, and her family has entered the Smokies. And one of them texted and said they would not have enough food and they are hungry after the first night in the Smokies. So Moose Liver assured the spouse that hikers will share what they can and take care of each other. And they will. However, don't be that person. If you're getting into the Smokies, you need to have 6 days worth of food, depending on how fast you hike. 5 days is usually how long it takes you if you're going to go all the way through. Now, a lot of people get off at Newfound Gap to resupply, and it's right in the middle pretty much, so you could actually only have 3 days worth of food. But the problem with that is snow, ice, high wind storms can shut the road to Newfound Gap down, and so you either need to have enough food to get through, or you're going to have to hike 15 miles in the Gatlinburg, and you may get stuck down there and either have to wait around for Newfound Gap road to open up, or hike uphill the whole 15 miles with food, which is when your pack is the heaviest. So keep that in mind, folks, when you're going through there. Uncle Bill and Pace Setter, they are through the Smokies, and they ran into a ton of blowdowns, and that is getting to be a common occurrence now that we are getting into the Smokies. A lot of hikers are. They ran in there and said that a lot more blowdowns have occurred since Helene came through. So pretty much what's being brought down now in the Smokies is stuff that came down that Helene loosened up the soil. We had a lot of moisture, a lot of water, but these trees came down due to a big wind event that we had up there since Helene. So there's somewhere around 70 trees that are down up there, and it's going to be a little bit. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute. They said that somewhere around Cosby, they also had 6 inches of snow when they went through, and they sent in this trail report.
Hey, Ramdino, Pace Setter and Uncle Bill here. We have about one more day left in the Smokies. Trail report is all the damage that we saw appears to be from recent windstorms. None of it looks old. And the ones that we've seen where the trees are over the trail, people have already punched down a side trail. Nothing has been difficult. The trail's in great condition.
Nothing has been difficult for Bill. I've had a little bit of trouble getting around the trees. I'm shorter and not quite as strong, but I've made it. Here I am. I made it. But I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea.
The trail's passable.
It is passable, but not easy.
And it's not from the hurricane, I don't think. I think it's recent windstorm. So anyway, we're doing good. We'll be out of the Smokies tomorrow evening or the next morning. So that's the update from Pace Setter and Uncle Bill. Thanks for what you do, and we'll catch you next week.
Have a nice day.
Appreciate that there, Uncle Bill and Pace Setter. And then Dog Tag, he checked in from Chiawabald with Dr. Quinn and Optimus. Chiawabald is one of my favorite places. It's trailed north of the NOC, the Nantahala Outdoor Center, and it's on the way to Fontana. Not quite halfway, I don't think, but it's a huge grind up. But Chiawabald is a great place if you can make it. It's not too far after the shelter, and it's a great place to camp there. So I would highly encourage you. You can see a sunrise and a sunset there, so pretty awesome. But they said they should be in the Smokies, and they also indicated, Dog Tag, that he's skipping it for now and heading north. He's got a medical procedure coming up, and he didn't want to get stuck in the Smokies like I just talked about before due to snow or wind and Newfound Gap getting shut down. So he'll come back and pick that up later.
All right, Ramdino, Dog Tag here, and guess who's with me? It's
Dr. Quinn.
Dr. Quinn, or formerly known as Medicine Mama or some other name, but we renamed her as Dr. Quinn. And then Optimus was with us.
Yeah.
And if you can see over Optimus's shoulder, the mountains are kind of covered with ice or snow, But it's been a beautiful day up here. We're up on Chioa Bald, and we're doing a little slack pack today. Headed back to the Knock, and then we'll be headed into the Smokies later this week. So thanks for what you do. Thanks for all the information, and you're the best. We'll talk to you later.
Hi, Rambino. Thank you.
Liz and Micah, they got on trail, and they should be in North Carolina by now. They're loving the trail and the trail community, and they have had no problems with overcrowding shelters or finding campsites. That hadn't been the case for everybody, but Liz and Micah indicate that as much. They also say water sources have been pretty much as what have been advertised on Far Out. So Far Out is the app that most people use to navigate the trail. Tells you where all the shelters are, tells you where all the water sources are. It's kind of a social media type of thing, and that other people can leave comments on there and indicate if that water source is dry, it's got plenty of water running, so on and so forth. So that is the app that most people use. And they also got trail names Tortoise and Hare. Ganza Girl, she got on trail and she sends in her update.
Hey Rambino, it's Ganza Girl here. So I started my hike today. I was driven up by some friends to Spring Parking Lot, and they went to the summit with me. And then they saw me off back at the parking lot. And I'm climbing up Hawk Mountain right now. Actually, today is my officially my day 23 since I started my hike in November in Pennsylvania. So I will check in later. Thanks for your support, and I hope you're doing well.
Lieutenant Hikes, he got on trail and he is through the Smokies, and he sends in his report.
Hey Ramdino, LT Hikes here. We're in the Smokies, day 5 for us. Ourselves and many other hikers had to get off trail last Friday, March 14th, due to a pending storm. They were closing the road at Newfound Gap at 6 p.m. Most of us got off trail and got back on trail on Monday. And the word of the day is blowdowns. The worst one we've seen so far is at mile marker 229.1. And I'll put a picture-in-picture video of that here. It took us about 5 minutes to get around that. I hope everyone stays safe out there.
Sally Ann from the Zpacks Hikers, that's a family of 6. They are through the Smokies, and she said the rumors are true that there are a ton of blowdowns through there. She said it's somewhere, she indicated about 70. Said there's a pretty bad section there that you have to work through.
Hey Ramdino, Sally Ann again with the Zpacks, coming to you from the Smokies just beyond Tri-Corner Shelter. And this has been going on for a few minutes now, just a sea of blowdowns. Not sure how long it's going to go for, but some have been easier to navigate. Some, like this particular situation, is much harder. So it was also quite bad from Peck's Shelter up to Icewater Springs, with massive blowdowns that you had to like go off trail to get around. So again, extra time. It's complicated by the fact that there's snow and ice on the ground, but y'all be safe.
And she says it's kind of on the northern, I mean, it's definitely north of Newfound Gap, but it's kind of getting closer to Davenport Gap than it is closer to Newfound Gap there. She also said they were a 1/10 of a mile section there from Low Gap. Took us nearly 40 minutes to navigate. Of course, Low Gap is further up the trail than the Smokies, but she sends in her update.
We're on our way down to Low Gap. Arrived.
Nicknamed Blown Gap.
Blown Gap, yeah, the carnage is insane. Can't imagine how high the winds were through here to knock down so many trees. I mean, that's all we can see. Like, even looking up higher, we can see there's more. That's where we're headed. Oh my goodness.
And we got an update video from Glam Girl and her father, Aquaman. And I love to see father-daughter teams out there, but they are a little further up the trail, and they sent in this video.
Hey Ramdino, Aquaman.
Glam Girl.
From Maine, father-daughter team here, hiking home, walking home. We're obviously 268 miles in. We've Really enjoyed the whole hike. Georgia's been fantastic. North Carolina, Tennessee, Smoky Mountain National Park, section from Newfound Gap, that 15-mile stretch to Tri-Corner was our favorite. Do you agree?
Yep.
And then from Tri-Corner down to Pigeon Bridge, there was lots of blowdowns. Actually, just down to Davenport Gap, lots of blowdowns, some challenging ones. Don't get discouraged. There is one bad one, but it's just from the recent storms.
Yep. And then our other favorite was Max Patch, which we hit yesterday.
Yeah, which was
that
beautiful.
Was beautiful.
So thank you for all you do, and thank you for all the trail maintenance and maintainers and clubs. Carolina Mountain Club trails have been impeccable. So impressed. Thank you again.
Ditto.
We also got an update from Moondog and 2Speed, and they are entering the Smokies, and they're new to the channel. So welcome y'all aboard. Glad to have you here. Here's their update.
Hey Ramdino, it's Moondog and 2Speed. Want to give a quick introduction. We're from Tennessee. We have made it to Fontana Dam, and we'll stay at the lodge tonight and head into the Smokies in the morning. Unbelievable day. Trail maintenance is fantastic, and looking forward to getting to the Smokies. Thank you for all you do for us. You are awesome. Thanks.
Sunflower and Josie, they want everyone to know, starting out down in Georgia, that water sources are poor, and that right after Hawk Mountain, in between Neal Gap and Hogpen Gap, are some of the worst, or the worst meaning driest, water sources there. So keep that in mind. You might want, if you find a good water source, camel up there and get plenty of water to take with you. And then Rabbit, he has made it past the 400-mile mark, and he says there's a good bit of uncleared trees and debris around mile 399 there at Buck Mountain Road. And then Jeff and Mary Ann, they report in from Luray, Virginia on their Sobo, well, it's actually their flip-flop, and this is a Sobo portion in, but they send their report.
Hey Ramdino, Jeff and Mary Anderson reporting from Open Arm Hostel in Luray, Virginia. Just wanted to give you an update. There's a fair amount of blowdowns between here and Front Royal, primarily from the storm last night. Nothing major, a few walk-arounds, a few step-overs. There's one that I had to get on my belly and crawl under. We picked up a new hiking companion. Her name is Doc. We picked her up at Bear's Den. She's traveling with us as well. We're just on the southern side of Mary's Rock here in the Shenandoahs. Just wanted to reach out and thank you for all you do, and God bless.
And last but not least, we got Fancy Pants and her family that she's literally carrying with her. And they have crossed over into North Carolina, so congratulations to them. She's in her update.
Hey Ramdino, Fancy Pants, Curious George, and Fifi checking in with real-time trail conditions. It is very cold, very windy, and very much uphill. That is the top of Sharp Top Mountain in the background, which means that Fancy Pants, Curious George, and Fifi have officially crossed the border into North Carolina. The trail itself is good. Check water sources on far out. Just stay in touch with that. But other than that, all is good, and we have made it into North Carolina. Whoop, whoop.
And I actually had a chance to go out on the left coast, the west coast, with Trail Boss and my son Chance Man, and we went out there and did some hiking and stuff, had a good time. Here's my update. Element drink mix. When you gotta have something get you up that hill. It's got 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. And that's gonna get me up that hill. Let's go. And once you conquer that hill in front of you, life doesn't stop. It's just getting started. There's a new adventure everywhere you look around every corner, no matter who you go with. Family, friends, loved ones. And right now, if you go to drinkelement.com/Ramdino, you'll get with any order a free sample pack of a lot of their awesome flavors. That's drinklmnt.com/Ramdino. Element drink mix. It's made for the adventure in all of us. Whether it's out there on the trail or even at home, it's made for the generations. And right now, you need to go
and get you some.
All right, so we're going to forego, because of the length today, we're going to forego the stats. We'll pick those up, and I'll tell you when we're going to pick those up. That's part of the surprise, I guess, so to speak. But anyway, but we will show you where the hiker bubble is. So the hiker bubble is really coming into North Carolina, and a big part of it is coming into the Smokies. So we're going to hear more and more people talking about those blowdowns coming into the Smokies there. So some intros of some people that are not got on trail yet, but they're getting ready to get on there. I'm still getting those folks, and please still send those to me if you'd like to be part of the channel. And this one comes from Hooch. Take it away, Hooch.
Hey, what's up, Ramdino? My name's Hooch. I'll be starting my thru hike on March 25th. I'm really excited to get out there, really excited to start heading north. I just want to thank you for everything that you do. You know, getting an episode or getting a little clip on your show is kind of like a jumbotron at a sports event. It's kind of weird. Somebody always seems to take their shirt off on one of those jumbotrons, so I just figured, you know, I'll be that guy.
Hooch, I appreciate you not taking your shirt off. This is a family channel, so we don't want any topless videos in this one, so thanks a lot for not showing the flesh there. Dennis, he sends in his intro video.
Hi everybody, my name is Dennis, and this is my 2025 Appalachian Trail thru hiking announcement. Here we're down to about 3 or 4 days till I leave, and I'm going to be taking off, leaving from Springer Mountain in Georgia and hiking the 2,200 miles all the way to Mount Katahdin in Maine. I am a retired law enforcement officer. I retired last January. And part of my reason for hiking is to kind of find a purpose since I retired. I'm also a military combat veteran. I served in 2 different branches of the military. About 10 years active duty with the Marine Corps. I did another 14, almost 15 years in the Army National Guard, and I retired from there in 2015. So again, if you're interested in donating to helping out the organization Camp Freedom, I would appreciate it. I'm sure they would appreciate it.
And I got a couple people out of sync. My bad. Not professional production here. So we got a couple people that are not intros because they've been updating us before. But we got Boston, OG, and Straps. They send in their update video.
Hi Ramdino, this is Boston. I'm here with OG and Straps. This is our weekly update. We're on top of Roan Mountain. Hiking's been good. A little tough in some sections. We did not go over that new reroute around Iron Gap Mountain. We decided to stay on the AT. It's tough, but it's doable. There's nothing that's going to stop anybody from going through there. I want to thank the trail maintainers for everything they've done. It's miraculous. I'm not kidding. It is. And I want to thank our friend Steve from Unicoi Shuttles. He's also a trail maintainer down in the Irwin section. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Ramdino. Boston out.
And so they did not take the official detour there at Iron Mountain Gap. Sounds like they went all the way through and made it. That is tough. That's like 7/10 of a mile of climbing over, under, and other trees. And I mean, ever since I had to have a plate put in my wrist, I tend to keep my feet on the ground a little more. So not saying you can't do it or shouldn't do it, just saying that I'm not going to do it. I'll take the detour because the detour is official. We're going to talk about that in just a minute as well. Vega and Robin, they got stuck in Blairsville on a Nero that they were doing there. So Blairsville's right down there at the trail, and so there's so many people getting on trails, so many shuttles, people that are getting shuttles that they couldn't find a shuttle back to the trail. And so they got stuck down there. Not exactly sure how long they got stuck, but just remember that you need to, if you're getting off trail and you're right in the middle of a big bubble, you probably need to secure that shuttle to get back to trail before you get off. Or you may not have a way back to trail. Now, if you're slam out of food, that's a whole different story. You got to do what you got to do, right? And then kind of an intro, but a little further up trail, not starting the trail, but Drifty, Compass, and Tank, they are trail north of Gooch Shelter. They say they're in a very big bubble there. They have a lot of the shelters are overcrowded due to spring break teenagers and parents, and that goes for the tent sites as well. So this is the time of year. It will get it'll get bad again in the summer when college students start coming in and and are off for the summer. But by that time the bubble will be spread off and much further north, and so other people will have gotten out, so it won't be as bad, but that will be something they have to contend with. But spring break, because people down in Georgia get on the trail and college folks do, and they just don't know any better. They don't know they're not looking at the thru hikers. They just want to get out there on trail, and some of them are not even part of the thru hiker community, so they're not aware that is when the biggest amount of people start the Appalachian Trail. I did get a few other folks that sent in some videos, but they sent me a link, a YouTube link. So I can't use a YouTube link. I need the not necessarily the raw footage, you can edit it, but I need the file, the MP4, the MOV file. I can't go to a link and collect it. I don't have time to do that. So, but we want everybody to be a part of the channel that wants to be able to channel. So you can send those files to me through either email, Instagram Messenger works well, or Facebook Messenger. All those work well. And if you'd like to be on the support list, the link to put yourself on that is down below. And if you're one of the hiker community that's not out on the trail and you want to be able to follow people along and go and comment and give them an attaboy, attagirl, or attathey throughout the course of their hike, then the link to that is down below. We've got somewhere over 250 hikers that are on that list with their social media there. So that is the go-to headquarters, I suppose, for all things Appalachian Trail thru hiker social media, being able to track them. So we got some starters from that support list that are coming up. We got Sunshine, Pockets, Kathy Rich Creek, Wandering Microphile, Drop Bomb, Stunt Dave, Retriever, Crab, David Carroll, Pup, Texoma, Marianne and Edward McCooney, Lisa, Iron Beast, Danielle Heverin, Mark Sebring, Dial Up, Eddie V, Patrick Noonan, Cap, Walker, Amber, Mike Nelevaco, sorry if I screwed that up, Mike, and Auntie Laura. All those folks are coming up here within the next little bit. So go and check out that. That support list, and you'll be able to find those links to their channels down below. So we are starting to get into the time of the year when most people have stepped off, and we'll see declining numbers start going down of people that are stepping off or stepping on. However, I say stepping off the matrix, stepping off real life. You may say stepping onto the trail, whatever. They're getting on trail, off the matrix, and we'll see that kind of declining here coming up here because we have reached the peak of that of the starting season. We do have one more day, that's April 1, where the trail is maxed out. And then after that, everything really starts dropping off there. So some news that are coming up. I mentioned earlier about the official reroute at Iron Mountain Gap. So that is pretty awesome. So finally, with the help of the Tennessee Eastman Hiking Club, who have been out there and busted their butts because they had the most damage from Helene, and they have punched through everything except 7/10 of a mile at Iron Mountain Gap. And the reason they didn't do it there is because there is talk about a salvage timber operation coming up, and so there's no point in them punching through just to have to come back and redo it all over again later, redo the trail and all that. So they're busy right now fixing turned over root balls and other places on the trail. They've punched through all of their section. But they did cut a section there for the detour. So along with the National Forest Service and along with ATC, who has now recognized that as an official reroute, that is now posted. And that is now part of the trail this year until the trail gets opened back up through Iron Mountain Gap. So that's awesome. You'll divert off the trail there, and you'll wind up getting on a gravel road. And here, let me let Marty tell you about it. Marty's our northern our Iron Mountain Gap trail damage correspondent. Take it away, Marty.
Okay, you can see the trail right there. That's heading south. You can see there is, get my finger out of the way, there is a cut through. You can see some trees cut down right there. That's a gap through the trees. That's heading to Cherry Gap Shelter, which is no longer there. And there's my bear box. And you can see the Eastman sign right there. That tells you to come up here and get on the road, the gravel road. Behind me, or heading that direction, is my house. This is the 1/2 to 3/4 of a mile that you walk to the paved road, and then you'll see white blazes from there. And then you can see the older white blaze on the tree right there. Let's see, yeah, right there. But Eastman has put up this sign here so that you can redirect people. But there's the trail, my dog, my bear box, the road, and then you take a left here and head on back down to.
So it's been blazed with signs or posts rather, with a blaze painted on. It's also got some plastic arrows that are on it, so it ought to be pretty easy for you to follow there. I think it's about a 6-mile reroute, so that should be no problem for most folks to follow that around and do that. So interesting enough, while that is recognized by the Cherokee National Forest because it's all in Cherokee and the ATC, it's not the trail is closed on each side of that detour because it's in the Pisgah National Forest, and the Pisgahs is being bullies. For whatever reason, their superintendent is not opening up the trail through there. So everybody else, all the other national forests, have their trail open, even though everybody got a lot of damage, particularly the Cherokee did through there, but Pisgah's not doing it. We've asked, and they've just said, we've got a lot of trail damage, and so they're out there fixing and working on it. So that's baloney. I know people that are out there, and there may be work being done on it, but it's punched through, it's good to go. For whatever reason, they're not allowing people to do that. So it's actually closed down on each side of the detour, but hikers have been going through, not telling you to go through a closed section. You're not hearing that from me, but hikers have been getting through, no problem. Nobody's fining, nobody's going to jail, nobody's being fined $5,000, nobody's going to jail for 30 days, nobody's getting both. So just giving you that information, you do with it whatever you decide you need to do with it. And then Whispers, our northern correspondent, he sends in that rivers are getting very high up there in the White Mountains and in that area where his area of expertise is and where his area of influence is. So the snow melts come through now. They've also had quite a bit of rain, and so it's going to be some cold fords up there that you're going to have if you're out there section hiking. And of course, I think it was Slide may already be up there any day now. And then he also sends in some pics from Mount Washington showing the difference a week makes from when it was just frigid conditions to now when it looks like it's almost springtime conditions up there. And speaking of springtime, it is very, very dry down here in the south. So North Carolina has a burn ban, meaning you can't have any kind of open fires, no campfires. The only fire you can have is what's coming out of your stove. So there's no open fires anywhere in North Carolina. I'm pretty sure Georgia is at least red flag. Tennessee, Southern Virginia is as well. You folks that are from Georgia, Tennessee, and Virginia, leave a comment down below if y'all have a burn ban as well. Irregardless, if it's red flag, you don't need to have a fire out there anywhere. Don't be that person that sets the place on fire. And then the Sauls Cruise. Sauls Cruise is the Southern Appalachian Wilderness Stewards, I believe is who they are. If I got that wrong, somebody correct me. But they use all manual equipment to clear the trail. So hand saws, crosscut saws, two-man crosscut saws, single-man crosscut saws. But in any case, they were tasked with clearing through the Big Laurel, maybe it's a Little Laurel Wilderness, something Laurel Wilderness there, from Wilbur Dam Road up into Tennessee 91, where there was miles of blowdowns through there north of the Vandervilter shelter. And they only have about, my understanding is, they got about a mile to go. That was a couple days ago, and they should be done by now. So there no chainsaws, only manual stuff. This picture here kind of gives you a really good indication of what they're up against. This is a mountain in a molehill. That is, or a molehill in a mountain, that's for sure. what they're trying to do up there. But they are almost done, so kudos to them for getting through and nobody having to actually come in there and help them out with mechanized equipment. Like we said before, for you guys coming into the Smokies, you're going to have to deal with about 70 plus trees that are down, 70 blowdowns. And as we've already seen, they can be tough to navigate through there. They're not going to be cleared and then starting till in April. And the club that maintains that in there, some parts of it are considered wilderness. So again, they can't clear with mechanized equipment except for one day. And I don't think they're going to be able to get 70 trees in one day. That's just a lot of trees to clear in one day. You got to have a lot of manpower, a lot of saws to do that. I don't know that they can garner that. So I had, I've asked the ATC, is there a way that you guys, put collaborations together so other trail maintainers can come in there and help them get that cleared? Of course, there are other, the Tennessee Eastman, they're war slam out from sawing, and they're working on root balls and stuff. So hopefully there's some other trail clubs that can come in where there's not as much damage and can come into the Smokies when they get in there and do that and get that cleared so that they can get that knocked out. So I've sent that in to the ATC, have not heard back from them yet, so I'll let you know when they indicate to me, that's what I thought the ATC did, is they organize the trail clubs to work together. So we'll see if that's the case. In any case, I'll let you know what I find out. And speaking of the ATC has put together a spreadsheet, a new spreadsheet of the damage and what's open and what's closed. And you know what? You tell me, where have you seen this before? If you watch this channel at all, you'll know that Bright Eyes and myself, and mainly Bright Eyes, organized this and put together our spreadsheet that looks a whole lot like the ATC spreadsheet, but we did it months ago. So kudos to Bright Eyes out there for helping me with that and for doing the lion's share of the work with that. I wish I'd copywritten it. Glad that they have, that I could be an influencer to the ATC. Not throwing shade on them or anything else, just glad that that they're doing that and seeing that would be a great idea there. And so the great news or the surprise or whatever I got for you this week is that this is airing so late in the week because I was out in San Diego and hiking around Torrey Pines and stuff with my family, that I'm doing another video coming up, and that'll drop this week as well. So not only will you get this one, but you're going to get the other one too. So you get Ramdino 2 times this week. So if one time ain't enough, then you're going to get me again. If one time is too much, sorry, you're going to get me again. All right, folks, that's all I got for right now. We'll see you later, and I hope to see you out here.